All right, good morning. We are in Brazoria, Texas, checking out Madam Cacti's Astrophytum setup. I want to start off by showing off her really cool greenhouse. This is custom made by her husband. So it appears to be a pole barn frame, and her husband does roofing and everything like that. He was talking about the plastic, and they have the cloth here, the hardware cloth, to keep birds and everything from coming in here. It's basically closed off except for this little area where airflow can get through. I believe the smaller one is a 20 by 20, she said. This one is probably a 30 by 40, but I think it's a pole barn frame actually. Let's go walk inside. I love the storm door. That's a great idea. And her focus is mainly on astrophytums. Lots of gymnocalyciums over there, but just tons of astrophytums. These are asterias. You got some myriostigmas. These are a lot of seed grown. So when you have a ton of astrophytums blooming and you're cross-pollinating between different varieties, you never know what you're going to get from seeds. So it's pretty neat. You can see these giant bundles. Each one of those is an astrophytum. Astrophytum is a cactus from the Southwest United States, Mexico. There are 6 or 7 different varieties. You've got the Astrophytum asterius, which is going to be your standard astrophytum. Then you've got your Astrophytum myriostigma. You've got Astrophytum, some kind of an ornatum. This would be what you call an ornatum. This may be even an ornatum hybrid. You've got Astrophytum caput medusa. This is a form that was only discovered in like 1998, but usually they are grafted because they have a very feathery root system. So for them to survive, really, you have to put them on a rootstock for them to do well. And you actually can't cross-pollinate one of these with any of the other ones. Like, they don't cross-pollinate. I don't know. I don't believe you can. Right here, you got some Astrophytum. These are the Capricorns, I believe. These are Capricorns. And then I believe up here is the other varieties. I think I covered most of them. Right here you would have a Cohelanese. That's how you say it. This is a Kiko variety, but Cohelanese is like you would say it's like a taller version of a myriostigma. Typically it's got some thorns, and it's a little bit, it usually has at least 5 or 6 ribs in my experience. They're a little more rare. And this is typically something you're not going to see at your local, hardware store at Lowe's, Home Depot, although I have found some in the past. So always be on the lookout. These are really cool cactus. Like I said, they are native to South Texas, Mexico, and they are just really cool plants because they don't require a lot of maintenance. They don't need a whole lot of water. They, can be grown in full sun or partial shade, but Madam Cacti has got a 60% shade cloth over her greenhouse. Let's just talk about the greenhouse for a second. Absolutely amazing. This is my dream greenhouse. Such a great idea with the pole barn. It's going to be really safe, especially during like hurricanes. They're down south of where I'm at, and so I had 110-mile-an-hour winds 2 years ago during Hurricane Beryl, or last year during Hurricane Beryl, and they said nothing happened, nothing budged during that, and they had worse winds than I did. Over here is her grafted section. A lot of her grafts are done on dragon fruit rootstock, and some people might not look like the look of grafted, cacti, but what is the purpose of the grafted rootstock? And that is that cactus that are kind of slow growing, like astrophytums, they are fairly slow growing, will get those nutrients faster. And so what happens? The plant grows faster, they bloom more often. You also don't have to worry about them rotting out because the surface of the cactus is not so close to the soil. So you don't have to worry about that as well. So what will happen is people will graft on highly selective varieties like, these I believe are Cohelanese or myriostigma Kikos. And these are highly sought after. So she wants to produce more blooms so she can pollinate them, get the seeds, and have those seeds to grow for her own or sell online, whatever she wants to do. Also have some, I believe these are Areocarpus. Now look at these. Get some really cool ones. They have some houseplants and cactus that will go kind of cyclical on what's trendy and what's growing. Areocarpus seems to be pretty popular right now. There's a variant called Godzilla, which is really gnarly looking. You'll have like a broccoli. You'll have, yeah, that one might be a broccoli. But that's what's so cool about, these types of plants is that, yeah, there's only 6 or 7 species of Astrophytums, but they're highly, highly hybridized. They're hybridized. I mean, no single Astrophytum looks the same. It's like a snowflake. It's like a snowflake. You'll never see the same thing twice. So beautiful, every single one of them. That's what's kind of drawn me to them, is the hybridization, because you can pollinate. You can keep a little paintbrush out here, take and you'll brush the inside of that bloom when it fully opens around lunchtime, and you'll go brush it on one of the other blooms over there. You just go around. I keep a paintbrush in my greenhouse, and I just am constantly just brushing between bloom and bloom, getting hybrids. And you can be selective with your breeding. If one plant has one variety that you want, you can specifically go through and cross pollinate, cross hybridize those varieties, and you can see the results. I mean, this is a one pot. These are literally, I think she says she takes the seeds and just throws them in a pot and grows them. I mean, it's nuts. Freaking cool. And these, like I said, these are Gymnocalyciums. What's cool is that most of these, if you would order them, import them online, you get them from Asia, but nothing like this is native to Asia. Same thing with like Pomerias. Pomerias are native to Mexico, but you get all the crazy varieties from like Taiwan, China, Japan. Same thing with Astrophytums. Japanese people took these Astrophytums back to Japan, and when you take stuff to Japan, they know what they're doing. They're specializing in hybridizing and making cool varieties and making stuff better. So now all these varieties that come from Japan are like registered varieties or special traits, and they've been mastered over hundreds of years, back around the world, which is really, really cool. So a lot of people use dragon fruit for rootstock, which I have not used dragon fruit, just because I've heard that for long-term reasons, dragon fruit does not hold up well. But they use a lot of it's called cactus for grafting stock, which is really nice. And these are cool because you can degraft this plant and replant it in a pot, which is really, really neat. So like some of these may even be, the specimens especially, may be degrafted from a graft. You back? Yeah, so I was asking about some of these varieties. This one will be Onzuka. You said, because it has the pattern?
Yeah, this is the pattern, like a V pattern. This is not really a best specimen to look at, but
I like him chunky though. I like how chunky he is.
They will start tall, and then later on, I think this is an Onzuka here. This one is so confusing sometimes. This is an Onzuka. When you grow them from seeds, they're gonna start columnar, and then later on they're gonna go fat. So this one is a Tollens variety. This is a myriostigma as well, but this is not an Onzuka. So usually they will grow tall when they're small and then grow fat as they go bigger. But this is a cultivar that's really grow tall. It's gonna be like 2 foot, and it'll stay a little skinny. But the Onzuka will grow very fat as it grow bigger.
Wow. And so they'll also throw on, so like you can buy, when you buy like a myriostigma, it may have 3 ribs.
Yeah,
but it may grow another rib. It may grow another rib or 2. Doesn't always mean that's how many ribs it's going to have, right?
Yes, they will sometimes change, but some plants will also stay like 3 ribs. But it's really variable. It's sometimes they'll grow 4 ribs. It's called quadricostatum, and then later on at older age, they're gonna grow extra ribs. And sometimes they do this. It's called a focorio.
It's a false rib.
Yeah, it's called costal ribbing, and then they will sometimes maintain this look, and sometimes it will disappear. So it's Astrophytum will change, appearance over time. So it's part of the deal of growing them.
And people might be wondering why, a cactus that's native to Mexico has all these Japanese terms for it.
Yes.
And it's because they took them to Japan and mastered them pretty much.
Yes. So 95%, 90 to 95% of the cultivars that we're seeing now is really created in Japan. So it was like from 1950s. They work on the Astrophytum asterias, and then it's just unreal to fathom how a normal asterias like this look in the habitat turns to be like this,
Mm-hmm.
or turns to be, you know, like super flaked plants.
Right. And so this would be a super kabuto, right? Right
Yeah,
here?
that's a super kabuto. So that means like heavy flaking, the white patterns, as to compare to the normal, the small white dots. So they were able to work with Astrophytum asterias and Myristigma for a long time. That's why there's a lot of cultivars of asterias and Myristigma, because Japanese people work so hard to develop those cultivars that we're enjoying right now.
And super kabuto in Japan just means Astrophytum.
Yeah, the when they got the plant, they call it their Texas asterias. Even though most of those was taken from Mexico, they
Right.
just call it Texas asterias, and they call it their. It changed to be like the Texas Cabuto. That's how it originated. And then when they made the Super Cabuto, the heavy pattern, they call it Super Cabuto.
So I think a super kabuto's got to be heavy flaking, and it's got to have like over 50% like white, right, or something like that.
Yes, just like the flaking are just super big, because there's like a cultivar also that they call it a snow that will cover the whole plant almost like 90%.
It's like a miracle, or like
That's
a
called snow type super cabuto. This one.
yeah, or covers over 90%.
Yeah, so it's almost white. You can only few, you know, spot of the epidermis.
And
So
it's a
it's
V type too.
yeah, and this is a B type too. So this is called snow type. And then there's also another cultivar called Miracle. I don't have it here, but
It's like
a
completely
different-
white, right? Like almost
it's
completely.
the Miracle Kabuto is, there's a distinct pattern of the trichome that is even, that what's that, symbolize the shape of the cherry blossoms in Japan. It's
Interesting.
like it's very synchronized form of the trichomes. So
Very symmetrical.
sometimes it's mistakenly, you know, identified as, you know, super kabuto, but it's really not. If you really take a look deeper and of the shape of the trichomes, it's, that's how you're gonna see that it's miracle kabuto, because of the consistency of the shape of the trichomes. And this one also is a different cultivar for trichomes. It's called Iwata Snow. So as you can see here, the trichomes is feathery and super white, unlike the normal trichomes of the asterias, which is, let's just say here, this is, the trichomes is so flat.
Right.
This one is kind of like feathery and super white. So this
Interesting.
is Iwata Snow.
And so like another thing you probably see is like pretty common is like a Kiko. It's like this.
Yeah.
This would be a good example of a Kiko. Like a
Yeah, that's a Kiko myristigma, and then this one here too.
yeah.
Those are the Kikos.
Is there different names for like more advanced forms of Kiko? Like that one's way more.
Yeah, this is the cultivar. They call it Hercules,
Oh wow.
and this is very the tube. What's that? It's the
Tubercles? Yeah.
Yeah, or the teeth is so pronounced. And this one is still Hercules too, but this is the Japan strain.
Okay.
It grows slow, and the tubercles will be develop as it grow older. But this one is like the Thailand strain. It is so wild while they're small. It's unreal. But this one is a slow growing.
Wow.
I have a Hercules there that's already formed big. The Japanese strain will started to develop its tubercle at our age 4 to 5.
Oh wow.
So it's like the Capricorn. The Capricorn will show its spine at about that age. So
Right.
there's something to do with waiting for 4 years to 5 years.
It's
with the
maturity,
Capricorn.
you know. It's like
Yeah.
you don't grow a mustache till you're like a teenager. Like
Yeah, so that's a sweet spot for Astrophytum. It's 4 to 5 years. It's either gonna flower, show their true form, or show their spines and everything. So for a grower, compared to other cactus, you know, 5 years is not really that long. It's a short period of time.
Because these
So
are slower growing. This is
yeah, they're slow. Yeah, I consider Astrophytum slow growing, but not super slow.
right. Not
So
like a
compared to other cactus,
copiapoa. Like
yeah,
copiapoa is super
yeah.
slow growing.
Compared to other cactus, I find that Astrophytum are fast growing,
For
so to
sure.
speak. Yeah.
And I was talking a little bit about your pollination method, like going through and selectively pollinating stuff. Do you do like a paintbrush, or how do you do your?
I do twisters.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So you paint?
people like, you can do it with paintbrush and everything, but I like to really pluck the pollen and put it in the stigma of the other plants. So you
Really?
do cross pollination, and then it's so fun with Astrophytum because you can do plants of your own. So I'll show you the plants that I made so far, and you take a look, and it's really weird.
Right.
It's fascinating to experience like how two features of two different species combined in one plant.
It's so neat. So like whenever you go through and you pollinate, like say you pollinated this one right here
Yes.
and that one, would you label that you did it
Yeah.
something?
So usually I do exclusive like selection, because most of the with Astrophytum, it's like when you do breeding, you do selective breeding. So I kind of like categorize my plants according to those selections. Like if I want to work on a wider super caboto, so I'll pick the best plants that has a wider um, trichome. So I pair those and I label those as the super caboto that I selected. Of course, I cannot pollinate every single plant, but that's the wonder of selection. It's really the breeders call what plant to cross. They fully open around 3 o'clock.
Three, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 3 o'clock, and then they'll close at, and maybe like 6 or 7, and then they have a chance to reopen the next day, and then that's
Yes.
it. So that's the thing about Astrophytum, is that you have to be in the moment, like savor the flower, because they're not gonna last.
For sure. How big is this greenhouse?
This one is 24 by 40,
Oh wow.
and the other one is 20 by 20. It's never enough space.
This is more of your big stuff. Private collection.
Yeah, select some plants in here, like the bee patterns that are more pronounced, that are more cleaner compared to this one is more busier, the super caboto bee type. And
And this is what they call a nudum, right?
yes, this is the nudum, the absence of the flaking.
Because those are the same plant.
Yes, this is the same species, Astrophytum asterias.
Yep. And here these are pretty white. These are
Yeah, those are the snow type that are really super white.
wow. You can really see on that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, so these are more slow grower than this, maybe because the epidermis is like the photosynthesis they don't have much green pigmentation in them, and then maybe the doing of the trichomes really take all their energy. That's why they grow slower.
I believe it. And then these are variegated versions of the asterias.
Yeah, this is the variegated versions of asterias, and those are the asterias that have like multiple ribs.
Oh
super caboto.
wow.
I think there's 13 ribs.
I've never seen that before. That's
and then
crazy.
13 ribs, asterias as well. And I believe this one will turn to be a Renzii. 13 ribs Renzii. Renzii is the areoles are so close to each other that it forms a line.
Yes.
Yeah, this one is like still a baby. I have something here. This is the Renzii.
Okay, cool.
So the areoles are so close to each other. So in Japanese literature, it's called the chain of hearts.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's nice. So there are really a lot of variations of Astrophytum, from trichome patternings to their ribs and areoles, the epidermis, their forms. There's really a lot to learn. So it's hard to digest in one point. It takes a while. So
yes.
I consider myself as a beginner still. I'm growing Astrophytum since COVID, and it just brings me to the journey of like continuous learning. It's like every day you're gonna learn something new, and especially if you're gonna grow them from seeds, I'll take you to the journey that it never ends, and it will really what's that? At this point, I can tell that there's you're gonna build this connection with the plants, and it's like you're gonna take to the face that it's never ending.
For sure. Well, and then you got these weird ones down here that are
Yeah, the kaput medusa.
somehow the same species.
Yeah,
But
and it's weird. It's the most bizarre looking Astrophytum.
are these seed grown?
Yeah, those are seedlings there of the kaput medusa.
Oh my goodness. So these are seed grown. And I was talking in the video about how they're usually grafted because their
Yeah.
roots are very like sensitive, right?
Yes, it's hard for, at least in my experience. I'm still new to this stuff, but I find them very hard to grow when you separate them. Maybe I separate them too early, but right now, what I figured out is to either graft them or grow them like this. Just grow them in pot like this.
Oh, cool.
together. So once you grow them from seeds and then you remove the pot, then uprot them and just add soil around it, and you're gonna have a little grassy looking setup. I think they're pretty weird.
I love 'em.
You know, when they're together.
Well, they were only like discovered like in 1995, and
yeah,
they're
something like that.
and,
yeah,
and
it's
you don't
very-
water those a lot at all, right?
Yeah, because they have tubercles. That's why I grow them from using a terracotta pot. So I water them the same, but the terracotta pot will, the water the word disseminate or whatever. Go away quicker than the
Yeah.
plastic pot.
I know what you mean. I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
so it's like that. So let me see here if
Oh yeah, the ones.
I have plants that are made that are crossed. This one's here. I know for a fact that this is Myriostigma and Asterias.
That is beautiful.
And then this one is doing weird thing here.
It's got like almost a variegation to
Yeah,
it.
I wish I really don't know what's the parent plant for this one because when I started, I used the marker and it's a big mistake. So
Yes.
I've learned that you have to use pencil and write it in the marker so that the sun will not.
Because even the labels will fade.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a mystery to me. So it's either the parent of this one is Asterias or Myriostigma. I can't really tell.
Is that a Capricorn or is it a Capricorn ornatum right here?
This one?
Yeah.
This is a Capricorn. And
They're very slow growing, right?
yes, very slow growing, and it's gonna grow like this for like about 30 years.
Right. Those are all 30, 40, 50,
Yeah.
40 years old.
Yeah, 40 years old, something like that at least.
Wow.
And I've been looking for my plant that it's a Myriostigma and there it is.
Oh wow.
So this is also Asterias Myriostigma. The parent of this one is the Myriostigma crossed with Asterias. And it's a different look Asterias. So I'm trying to recreate this. So that's what's fun about Astrophytum is that you can make crossbreed them and then make a new plant out of it that is gonna be more special because you did it. Or sometimes in a certain population there's just like one weird thing that will pop out and then you can try to recreate it as well.
I like the weird ones, like the Kikos, like the Kiko Asterius.
Yeah,
Those are so cool. I love those
Yeah.
so much.
I like everything that is nudum, which is green. I feel like they're more have a stronger aura than the basic, or maybe it's just the same. Sometimes I feel like I like more whiter today and then tomorrow I'm into green or something.
It's seasonal.
Yeah.
This is one that looks like it had. I've got one very similar like this. It had a little bit of rot or something, or
Yeah.
it had. Sometimes they'll even if they're like in a mouse or something, or like
Yeah.
even a bug had
Yeah.
a grasshopper
Yeah.
eating part of it.
Yeah, I think the cutworm attacked this one and it's a great survivor. I love this plant. And also I like this one because it was when you're when you're growing stuff, it's like they will mess with the plant that you really like. It's so frustrating.
Yes.
They know what plant to mess.
And so that one will, because they grow from from the middle out.
Yes.
It'll forever probably just put out little pups like that.
Yes.
And you'll also have like a little, like a volcano, like kind of looking like
Yes.
Asterius.
Yes, for sure. They will recover. You know, it's like it's very common for the cactus when the apical meristem or the growing point will be damaged, and if they will just try to push new growth from the center. So that's what happened with this plant, and it's really recovering. And I find them, pretty, like very, like very what's that?
I like the beauty and the
Survival.
imperfections.
Yeah, like survivor, like this guy win a certain battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yep. And that's what I look for when I go to nurseries and see stuff like this. I look, it's like, I want to see something I don't see anywhere else.
Yes.
Those are the ones I want. They're growing, abnormally, asymmetrically, an extra rib. Like, you got the
like
little
that.
fake,
Yeah.
false rib coming out. That may turn into a whole new rib. That may turn into a four rib.
Maybe. Yeah. It's really changing, deal for Astrophytum.
And how old are these back here? These are some
this
maybe
one
2
here,
years old or
like
so.
2-3 years old. This one are super slow, like 3 years old. Even the Fucorio for me, maybe I'm not feeding them real well, but these are like 3 years old ish.
Wow.
This one are I grafted this and degrafted it, and then now they are well rooted.
Oh yeah.
So grafting is really part of the deal to create more seeds and all that stuff.
Well, I usually wait till I see roots coming out the bottom before I repot.
Yes, for sure. Just like this is candidate for repot.
Yep.
Because it's already have roots from the outside.
And you don't need a giant pot for something like this either. Like they like to be in like smaller pots. Like you don't need a giant pot for something like this.
But I've noticed about Asterias is that they will benefit from repotting because maybe the nutrients. So their balloon or grow faster and quicker if they have continuous new soil replacement.
Okay. Or almost like a root stimulation too, like disturbing.
Yes,
because in the wild, when you see an Asterias in the wild, they're almost submerged into the soil. Like
for sure.
they have they go in and out when it rains. Like it's so wild.
They're
So
like in the habitat you can only see the small part here.
yeah, it's so crazy looking.
Yeah, and
Even the Eriocarpus too, you only see the very top.
Yes, and I find them very fascinating. And then look at this one plant here. What's doing? I don't even know where's the grow point.
Well, there was another one over here that was really sunken in. Those two right.
Like a donut or something.
That is so neat.
Yeah,
I love
you
it.
find weird stuff when you grow from seeds, like couple of heads, and you just have to select your stuff. So these are one example of the stuff that I told you earlier. It's a Hercules.
Okay.
And it's almost 4 years old, and it's just showing its true form. So it's slowly doing. They will start like a normal like this.
Wow.
Then some variable. This one's showing real thing as it grows.
Is this a Hercules too?
This
it's
one,
a variegated.
Yeah, because it's like, look, it's still working on its ribs from the center. That one is really working good now. So I'll start a normal meristigma. So the baby Hercules, you can tell if there's like the ribbing here are like more on like the wavy compared to if it's really smooth like this. So it's not really gonna like this. It's so smooth. But the Kiko is, they will show that irregular curve over there. So that's a potential that you can tell that it's a Kiko.
Yeah, because you can see little signs in the beginning, and then it gets more pronounced.
Once this plant is gonna grow, it's gonna go look like this one here. It takes a while, but it's gonna grow like this. So this one is this is a degrafted plant. So if you graft those plants that are small and then maybe graft it for 2 years, you'll have this look, in a short period of time. So this
beautiful.
is a very nice green Hercules, like the tubercles. It's fascinating, how from a normal, myristigma, they were able to do this.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah, it's fun. These are the same thing too. So one day we're gonna have um a bunch of these
I love it.
because it's amazing.
Well, I don't have anything as pronounced as that, so.
It's really
So you take Venmo, right?
it's what's that? It's a journey.
I think these might be my favorite thing I've seen all day though. These things.
Yeah, that's a Super Kabuto Royale. It's called the Royale Super Kabuto.
Royale.
Yeah, because of the pattern here. It's like a big. The trichome is not even separated. It's like a big.
Like a big wide trichome. Yeah.
Like a painting or something.
That
like
is
a white thing.
bizarre.
Yeah. So this one I have two.
So I could walk around and look for like all day and see something new like every time I look down. It's so crazy.
That's a disadvantage. Sometimes like in a day I'm so motivated. Like like when I get up, like I'm all about plants. So this I'm gonna do. I'm gonna repot. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do. And then when I have my coffee here, it's like I'll waste like 3 hours just looking at them, acting like I never seen them yesterday.
Right. Well, and that's what I love about it because I mean, you can live in an apartment, a small balcony, and have 30, 40 plants.
Yeah, exactly.
And you see something new every day. Like you see a plant from a different angle and it's something different.
Yeah.
It's
And what I like about Astrophytum is I can really connect with them because I can touch them.
yes.
I'm
They're
more
not
on
super
it.
thorny like some of the other
Yeah,
ones.
like you can really touch them and stuff like that. That's why I kind of like sad when the growing season is over, but at the same time it makes me more like I can enjoy my plants more because of the weather, coffee mornings, and then touching plants.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like plants and me time because the growing season, the work never ends. If you grow stuff, there's so much things to do.
100%. Real quick, can we look at your soil mix? Your like that you use for like your soil blend?
So my potting mix is just basic 70% inorganic mixed with 30% organic. Now the 30% organic is I can use peat moss, is slightly acidic, and then you can have the barks in there. Then you can have coco coir. I like coco coir because it holds moisture and retains some nutrients. At the same time, it dries quicker. So, and then my inorganic is I use just whatever available to you, but I stick to that ratio: 70% inorganic, 30% organic. So I use like perlite, Spanish shell, and I also use if I have like lava rock. And I like this mix because this is lightweight.
Yes.
It's not super heavy. And then also, you can, what's that? I've seen different growers, they've been using like the Sunday kind, Lumi kind soil, and it works for them. I think you just really have to practice like about your watering techniques. So for mine, I do this mix works for me because I usually use small pots.
Right.
Because if you're gonna use bigger pots, you're gonna incorporate more inorganic in your mix.
Right.
So it's really like the practice and what kind of plant that you're dealing with. But it's a good start for dealing with cactus. It's like 70% inorganic and 30% organic. And play around with your soil based on the types of pots and the size of plants that you are growing, because it's really there's a connection between them.
Well, especially too, like, as you have your stuff covered, you can control the moisture levels, how much water that you're.
Yes.
If these are going to be out in the open with no,
Yes.
you might want to add more inorganic or like
Yeah.
for better drainage.
Yeah, when it rains.
Yes, because we're in Missouri County, so it rains pretty often. So to keep stuff like this alive, you got to have it almost covered.
Yeah. And also, my setup here is open, so that there's airflow also.
So important.
If you have like a growing space that is enclosed, so the water will retain in your soil a lot longer. So it really, there's really no one correct way about like soil mix and potting and stuff like that. you just have to really connect with your plants
Yes.
and figure it out. And there's a cost for learning, and you know, experiences is always, it's always there. Don't be you don't feel like give up or something, like you feel like you kill plants all the time. Well, I will tell you, we did too at one point. So
We're still killing plants. Don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah, for sure. It's like we can't, we can't make them all, you know, be with us. But it's a part of fun. So repotting and removing dead plants is part of the journey.
Absolutely.
So,
Is this the mix you use for even your seed starts?
my seed start is the opposite composition. So
30-70?
yeah, 30-70. So 30% inorganic, then 70% organic. That's what I do with my seed start, because seedlings needs more moisture.
Yes.
And they need that moisture for the first 2 years of their life.
Gotcha.
So that's what my ratio is. And then sometimes if you try to repot also, like for example, this plant here, the ornatum, that's so big. So I'm not gonna disrupt the root system, and I will make it more organic. Oh, inorganic. Add more shell on the soil, because the plants already have a big capacity to hold water compared to this.
Right.
So you can just imagine, you know, if I put this more in organic with this plant, it probably will split for overwatering. So those kind of things, it's confusing when you first start, but later on you kind of like feel and understand it over time.
Right. I've seen some videos where people break up the root systems a lot when they repot. I don't break mine up too much. Like I've seen people completely like cut off all the roots.
Yeah. My deal is that it's like the older the plant, the harder for them to regenerate roots. It's like older people, like, you know, it's like when we get old, we don't want to do
Right.
more stuff, and you know, inconvenience. Like we don't.
Takes longer to heal.
Yeah, for sure. Same thing. So the younger plant, you can mess with them. It triggers growth or whatever. But I kind of practice now that the don't what's that don't if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, there you go. And now is not a good time going into winter to repot things like this either.
Yes, yeah. You can probably repot them and make sure that just don't disrupt the roots, and just add soil around it. They'll be fine. But trying to kind of like mess with the root system, I don't think it is good. But it also depends on the growing environment
Yeah.
that you're growing. Because if you grow them under grow lights, you can get them warmer, you know, weather temperature all year round. I mean, you can pot all year round. It just depends on your setup.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. If you're in California,
Yeah,
Florida, you can do it
yeah,
whenever.
Yeah, they can do everything. So
Yeah.
for us, kind of like slow season, but it's a fun time to mess with plants, like watching them.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you giving me a tour. I'll have to come back in the spring whenever you're doing some repotting and
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
Doing some seed starting videos would be cool.
Yeah, and repotting and all that stuff. You let me know so that we can, do it on video.
Yes.
How to do stuff.
For sure. Thank you very much. And let everybody know your channel and everything where they can find you.
I have a little website. It's www.madamcacti.com, and then you can follow me in Instagram and Facebook at Madam Cacti.
Awesome. And then you have Palm Street. You do stuff on Palm Street.
Yeah, I do stuff in Palm Street. Very seldom. Palm Street is nice too. That you can, share your love of plants.
But you go to all the Houston cactus succulents sales.
Yeah, I try to go to like different shows. It's nice to showcase, and just show people what Astrophytum is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's
Well, you're a good ambassador of Astrophytum. I really appreciate it.
thank you so much.